I came here in July 1998. This was my first time as a solo pastor, and bigger things were expected of me, so I didn't know whether I was the right person. I wasn't feeling too comfortable or too confident.
I was scared when they first said an Indian pastor is going to come here. Would he speak with an accent? Could people understand him? Who is he? And Father Joe blew everyone away.
We were surprised he was able to speak Spanish. So before we had a priest that spoke Spanish, he was doing almost all the masses in Spanish, which was very helpful for the Spanish community.
I was impressed with him immediately because of the sermon he gave at the very first Mass I attended. I loved what he had to say about women in the church. 20 years later, I still remember that. Yeah.
Father Joe brought a lot of fun to being a Catholic. It was not suffering and drudgery, it was joy and excitement. So that was a leadership quality that drew people to him and to St. Philip the Apostle Church.
There's something about St. Philip's that really draws people in, and they have a sense of home, a sense of belonging, a sense of welcome. And I think Father Joe has been very instrumental in letting that happen here.
We were ready for Father Joe and his ability to open us up to even more.
When Father Joe showed up, and school was struggling. They had ads in the bulletin looking for warm bodies to be in the class.
Some of us in the parish had been talking about trying to renovate our facilities, maybe buy some more property, and it didn't seem like we were going anywhere. So new pastor, opportunity to pounce on that idea.
A group of parents got together and went to Father Joe and said, let's build a new school, and he said okay.
One of the major concerns is, well, how are we going to pay for this? And early on, the consultant that we hired to evaluate how much we could afford came up with an estimate of about $3 million, and we thought, oh, we were crushed. How can we go ahead and build a facility of this consequence for that amount of money?
I think the biggest thing is Father Joe embraced the need and then brought a large group together and said, this is important. That really started the process, and then he did a wonderful job of engaging a lot of the folks in the parish to say, hey, how can we do this?
I think it was probably one of the most dynamic times in the life of the parish, because I think people realize, hey, something is happening here and we better be part of it. So the parish came alive, people that I didn't even know belonged. They didn't think we could raise $2 million, but we ended up raising 15.
We did it. It took a couple years of a lot of hard work from a lot of parents. Father Joe trusted everybody, and I think that's the biggest thing about Father Joe that I have to say is his trust. He trusts people to do what they need to do, and he allowed these people to push the parish forward and built Holy Angel Hall and built the school. But it was a lot of work.
I think the parish needs another challenge, whatever that is, you know? I didn't realize that at that time that raising money, buildings, that was the centerpiece, you know, that kind of energized the base. So sometimes a parish needs something to energize the base. And maybe that's up to the new pastor to decide, you know, how that's going to work. I think one other thing that was very important to me was the ministry to youth.
It's been a ministry that I think has really enriched the parish, that he's allowed to grow over these years. It's not the school, and it's not just the parish. It's really a blend, and the way really it should be, I think, is the way it has evolved.
I think the children want to go to church, and they love when he says Mass because they know he loves them and he accepts them exactly the way they are. That's what teenagers need to stay involved in the church and feel comfortable in the church and welcome in the church.
Father Joe has accomplished a lot here. He is going to move on after 20 years. We've been blessed to have him here for 20 years by the grace of God.
I'm sad to see him go. It was a golden age. The parish is richer and stronger spiritually. The Spanish community and the rest of the community are closer, and I think we're well set for the next 20 years.
I hope that we remember his warmth and we remember his love.
Sorry he has to leave, but we understand. It's been 20 years with him, he's going to retire. So we wish him the best, and I hope he enjoys it, and we'll pray for him, and I know he'll pray for us. So
wish him health and good fortune, and he's been a gift really to our family and to so many other people, and we want him to always be part of our lives.
I hope people recognize that he welcomed everybody. And I hope anyone who is touched by him reaches out to him in his retirement, not just in the next 6 months, but for as long as he lives.
I really think, you know, after his 20 years here at the parish, he has certainly left a mark. He is a priest. And as I said, you can't take the priest out of him. You know, even if he retires and he goes and travels and does his thing, he will still be the priest. There's sometimes he says, you know, I wish I weren't. I just want to be one of you. And I said, no, Father, you can't. You're the priest.
I'm grateful for your hospitality, grateful for what you have done for me in affirming me as one of the community. I hope I served you well, and I wish the parish the very best, because I think, you know, it's the parish is not the priest. The parish is every single member, and I think we need to rise to the occasion and be part of that. Don't leave the pastor or the priest alone. that you bring your gifts and enrich the whole family. So that's my hope and prayer, because that's my vision of the church anyway.